Samantha Markle has issued a second legal challenge against her half-sister Meghan Markle. Samantha has appealed the dismissal of her defamation lawsuit, which was originally filed over remarks Meghan made during her interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021 and on her Netflix series Harry and Meghan the following year.
Meghan Markle is in the middle of one of her biggest legal storms yet. Her half-sister Samantha Markle isn't letting go, and this time she's coming back with a much stronger case.
It was probably when I was maybe 9 or 10. I would get scratched or spit at, hair pulled, that type of thing.
I remember one morning, Noelle was sitting at the table eating breakfast, and she had a pair of her.
The appeal isn't just about what Meghan said in the Oprah interview or the Netflix series. It's about intent. Samantha's lawyers are claiming Meghan carefully built a narrative designed to wreck her sister's reputation.
He has personality profile that perfectly enables.
Add that to the aftermath, life threats, stalking, and emotional trauma, and suddenly Meghan's truth is being painted as biased storytelling. Judges are now questioning if her polished interviews cross the line from opinion into calculated attacks. And if internal communications prove premeditated planning, the fallout won't stop in court. Meghan's Hollywood ties, brand deals, and even whispers of royal involvement could all come crashing down.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, what I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013 onwards, when her marriage had crashed and she couldn't find anyone in Canada at the time. And she wanted wealth and she wanted fame. And she targeted, there's no doubt she targeted Harry and found someone who was a childhood friend of his who could introduce them. And then on the days before they met,
Harry, once the cheeky prince adored by millions, is now being turned into memes and mockery. Some say he's a fool being dragged by Meghan. Others believe he's a willing partner in a deception that cuts through centuries of tradition. Either way, insiders say he's panicking, pacing rooms, snapping at staff, and spiraling over every headline. And that's raising eyebrows. Is it just coincidence, or is the palace quietly keeping its distance? That question matters because this isn't just gossip, it has real consequences. If the children were born through surrogacy, that's one layer of drama. But if outside donors were involved and the biological ties aren't what's been claimed, that's not just scandal, that's a royal earthquake. That's why calls for DNA testing are growing louder. What once started as whispers is now a full-on demand across social media, tabloids, and even mainstream TV debates. Hashtags trend, panelists argue, and everyone keeps asking the same thing. If Meghan and Harry truly have nothing to hide, then why not just take the test? From a PR standpoint, it's a disaster. Their whole brand was built on being the modern fairy tale family. 2 parents, 2 kids, and a dreamy Montecito mansion. But now cracks are showing, and these aren't little surface cracks. They're deep, structural ones that no stage photos or Netflix specials can cover up. For Harry, this scandal hits harder than anything done before. Fatherhood has always been his redemption arc. In interviews, he said over and over again that everything he does is for his kids, that fatherhood grounded him, saved him, and gave him a purpose. But now critics are asking the question no parent ever wants to hear. What if those kids aren't even biologically his? That shifts the whole narrative. Suddenly, this isn't just a PR problem, it's an identity crisis. The same man who once walked behind Diana's coffin as a symbol of strength is now painted as either a naive puppet or a willing accomplice in a cover-up, and neither image works in his favor. One makes him look weak, the other dishonest. Worst of all, he comes off powerless, a man who doesn't even control his own family's story. Behind the scenes in Montecito, insiders describe a heavy atmosphere. Harry is said to be unraveling, pacing the halls, lashing out, and obsessively reading every rumor, article, and video online. He's dissecting photos, revisiting Meghan's pregnancy timelines, and spiraling over Bauer's claims. And the damage may already be permanent. Harry, once admired for his rebellious strength, now looks like a man unraveling. Friends from his military days have reportedly pulled back, and insiders say he's become unpredictable, shifting between bursts of anger and eerie quiet. Those close to him whisper that he's lost his sense of self, not just as a royal, but as a man. Fatherhood was the one thing he held on to as his redemption, and now even that's under scrutiny. Meghan, meanwhile, continues her strategy of deflection. Her lawyers are busy drafting responses and sending out legal threats. But lawsuits don't solve moral questions. If anything, they fuel the criticism that the Sussex brand is built on control, not truth. And the public isn't forgetting. They remember the Netflix specials, the polished Instagram posts, the big speeches about authenticity and breaking cycles of pain. Now, when the couple refuses transparency about something as basic as their children's origins, the hypocrisy stings harder than ever. And still, the royal family stays quiet. No statements, no subtle gestures of support. It's as though the entire institution has stepped back, watching from the shadows. Instead, insiders say Charles has been told to keep his distance, that even appearing supportive could backfire if the rumors turn out to be true. Behind the scenes, whispers of contingency plans have started. Conversations about succession, about what happens if Archie and Lilibet are proven to be born through means not recognized by royal tradition. Would they lose their titles? Their place in the line of succession? No one knows, and the palace isn't offering answers. Isn't just accused of saying cruel things. She's accused of utilizing her fame. The damage to Samantha, her lawyers argue, goes far beyond reputation. It's psychological. Mental health professionals are prepared to testify that she suffered severe trauma, PTSD, and ongoing anxiety directly linked to Meghan's public comments and the chaos that followed. Evidence reportedly includes therapy transcripts, medical diagnosis, and prescriptions, all meant to prove this wasn't a minor reaction. It was a full-blown mental health crisis that changed Samantha's life. But Meghan's team is even more worried about what comes next, discovery. If this case moves forward, she could be forced to turn over private communications, emails, texts, and production notes from before, during, and after those big interviews. That could mean correspondence with Netflix producers, Oprah's team, and even her own PR advisors. Samantha's lawyers want it all, not just to prove Meghan's words were false, but to prove she planned the entire narrative. Meanwhile, the entertainment industry is shifting too. Insiders say studios and streaming platforms are quietly backing away. Deals that once looked solid are now paused. Thanks to morality clauses, companies can cut ties if a partner becomes a liability, and a defamation ruling could easily set a wave of cancellations and contract terminations. Public trust is also on the line. Meghan built her brand around being a voice for the voiceless. But if courts decide she used her platform to bully someone with less power, that image collapses. Samantha's lawyers are expected to hammer this point in closing arguments, contrasting Meghan's public preaching of kindness with the allegations of emotional devastation she caused behind the scenes. And then there's the money. A successful defamation suit wouldn't just mean one big payout. It could inspire more lawsuits from other family members or people who felt targeted in Meghan's past narrative. Legal experts warn that if one domino falls, the rest could tumble quickly. At this point, the courtroom isn't just a legal battleground for Meghan. It's the stage where her reputation, her brand, and even her legacy are all being put on trial. So what do you think? Did Meghan knowingly use her platform to destroy her sister's reputation? Or is this all just another chapter of royal chaos spun out of control? And if those internal documents really make it to court, could this be the beginning of the end for the Sussex brand? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more tea, because this saga is obviously far from over.